Today's video has been sponsored by Honkai Star Rail. Final Fantasy XVI has officially released, and it's being met with some incredibly strong praise. However, gaming discourse is never of the intelligent variety, and the reviews themselves have spun off a lot of controversy. But worry not, as I am here to put it all into perspective today, and share why Final Fantasy XVI is already a massive victory for the franchise. Wait a second, it seems like we're being hacked? By Silverwolf? And today's sponsor, Honkai Star Rail, from the creators of Genshin Impact, bring you a new thrilling space fantasy RPG by Hoyoverse, featuring a gorgeous mature art style and in-depth characterization, beautifully blending elements of myth and space sci-fi with various worlds, each carrying its own unique style, and what so many of you on this channel have been clamoring for, turn-based combat. This is a deep battle system that you can truly master over time. The game also has excellent characters like Silverwolf, the universe's best hacker. From her rebellious spirit to her clear disdain for authority and rules, she makes an incredible ally, able to add weaknesses to her enemies and offering powerful support. But you'll need to try her out in battle for yourself, and you can do that easily because it's free to play and crossplay, so you can enjoy this game anytime, anywhere. So be sure to check out Honkai Star Rail, available now with a link in the description below, and use the promo code for an extra 50 Stellar Jades. Final Fantasy XVI, as of the recording of this video, is currently sitting at an 88 on Metacritic. This comes after 100 reviews, and it currently sits at a 90 plus on OpenCritic. Notable publications such as IGN and GameSpot giving the game a 9 out of 10. There were also some more harsh reviews such as the one from Eurogamer, which gave the game a 6 out of 10. However, for the most part, people really like this game. Many reviewers calling this the best single player Final Fantasy in over 20 years. However, there's a lot of people who don't think the score of 88 is actually good enough, and this has led to a ton of controversy online, especially on the place where all the intellectuals go to have deep and meaningful discourse, Twitter. Somehow a game that has almost scored a 90 is not high enough, and many claim is no longer worthy of being a Game of the Year contender. Listen, let's talk about games that have scored similarly, and we'll start close to home. Final Fantasy VII Remake's PS4 release sits at an 87 on Metacritic. The game still went on to be a strong contender for Game of the Year. Though it was ultimately beaten by The Last of Us Part 2, I think you should make no mistake that FF7R was definitely Game of the Year for a large number of people. I wager that FF16 will also be the same, with the game carrying a fairly similar score. Nier Automata, which is largely regarded as a masterpiece, sits at around 88. Both Demon's Souls and Dark Souls, games that would go on to change the very face of gaming, sit at around 89. So the absolutely insane narrative that 88 isn't a great score is shown to be the exact insanity that it looks like. This is the kind of stuff that I hate when it comes to video game discourse. People get wrapped up in this idea of Game of the Year. Let me tell you something. No Final Fantasy game ever has won Game of the Year. It's literally never happened. And to be honest, we all know that the Game of the Year this year is going to be Tears of the Kingdom. And listen, I really enjoy Tears of the Kingdom. Will it be my personal Game of the Year? Honestly, I enjoyed RE4 Remake and am enjoying Final Fantasy XVI a lot more, but it's undeniably the game with the most mass appeal. It's also, in a fairly objective sense, the most innovative game, and so while it lacks the things that I tend to value in games, such as refined combat systems, excellent storytelling, and music that actually plays, it's still a really exceptional game. Again, probably one of the greatest games of all time. However, it just doesn't scratch the type of itches that I'm looking for, and that's fine. It's literally not built to be that type of game. It's built to be a more open world sandbox type of game. I I still think they should bring back the classic Zelda music in the next one, but that's a different story. Altogether, these Game of the Year shenanigans are completely meaningless. Now, in terms of actual issues with the game, it would seem that, as I fear, the Day 1 patch did not fix issues as deeply as it needed to. The game's performance mode is still riddled with a number of frame rate dips, particularly in large towns. The game's motion blur is still a bit too strong for a number of people, giving some of them motion sickness. While personally I can deal with the dips as long as combat is 60 frames per second, and the motion blur hasn't bothered me at all, I still believe these are entirely legitimate issues, and should be fixed with future patches for the game. It is worth noting that the team wants to continue to support the game after launch, and so a patch for these things is more than likely going to be on the way. However, you will have to be patient. DLC is in a fairly similar situation, where if fans demand it, Yoshi P says he is absolutely willing to make Final Fantasy XVI DLC. But until then, you can enjoy the base game, or you can watch me enjoy the base game alongside you, as I am streaming the game over on twitch.tv/TheNightSkyPrince. So be sure to head on over, and be sure to check out Honkai Star Rail, link in the description below.